Hello, greetings once more from 5-Star Recaps. Today I will show you the recap of a psychological movie titled Forrest Gump. Spoiler alert. Watch out and take care. Our protagonist, Forrest Gump, is at a bus stop in Savannah when a feather flies around the sky and drops in front of him. While putting on dirty sneakers, Forrest opens his suitcase and puts the feather in it. As he sits, a lady comes to join him on the seat, and he offers her chocolates which she refuses. He starts talking about himself and how he got lucky to buy his first pair of shoes. He has a curved spine, so he is given a leg brace shows to fix his curved spine, and according to his mother, he is named after General Nathan Forrest since his mother believes they are related one way or the other, and they both do mutual stupid things with little or no sense. His mother makes it a habit to encourage him every time, never to allow anyone to intimidate him. Forrest lives with his dear mother, and they live around the town of Greenbow, Alabama. Their residence belongs to his mother's family, and she has been taking care of it for a long time. She rents out the empty part of the apartment. She encourages him that he isn't different from an average person, but it seems that's a fallacy as his principal insists that Forrest has an IQ lower than that of an average student, and his IQ is about 75. The principal insists that Forrest has to go to a special school despite how much his mother insists that he has to have the best and finest education. To achieve her goal, his mother decides to have a sexual trade with the principal so Forrest can remain in school, and I guess the trade pays out. They majorly stay with travelers, and their house is usually filled with temporary tenants, and Forrest makes it a habit to dance to the sound of the guitar whenever any one of the tenant plays it for him. Also, Forrest loves the guitar and enjoys dancing to its sounds. After his mother's successful change by barter, Forrest resumes school. On his first day at school, it isn't a shock that no one offers to be his seatmate. Fortunately, a sweet young girl, Jenny, offers him a seat. They quickly become best of friends, and he compliments her on her sweet voice, and they try to impact each other's life by teaching each other what to do and several new things. However, Forrest is constantly bullied at school. One day, some of his bullies attempt to force him, and he runs away from them. These unrepentant bullies take a bike to chase him, and as a result, he runs so fast he doesn't want to get caught by them, and as he keeps running, his braces start removing. One great privilege of that experience is that Forrest realizes that he can run. His new best friend, on the other hand, Jenny, lives with her sisters and her father. She lost her mother at a young age, and her father molests her and her sister. Despite how wicked her father acts toward them, Forrest believes that her father is a good man. He goes to Jenny's house after school one day, but on that day, Jenny doesn't attend school. He goes to ask her about her absence from school. She runs away with him, begging that God turns her personality into that of a bird so she can be free. Eventually, she is taken to live with her grandma, and fortunately, the house is nearer to Forrest's own, and she goes to his house anytime she is afraid. Needless to say that the duo continues as best friends until they finish high school. In his habit of running from bullies, he runs onto a football field, and the football coach is in awe of his excellent skills. The coach offers him a scholarship to college, which he accepts with great joy. The lady he is narrating his story to leaves to take her bus, and another part coincidentally sits beside Forrest with her baby in her hand, allowing Forrest to continue with his story. He tells the new lady that Jenny attends a girls-only college, and he makes it his habit to visit her regularly. During one of his visits, he sees that Jenny has a visitor, and a visitor is a man. He catches Jenny making out with the man in his car. Raging with jealousy, he beats the man, and Jenny gets angry at him. He apologizes and tries to leave, but Jenny takes him to her room. Jenny tells him she wants to be a famous singer like Joan Baez. Jenny asks him if he has ever been with a girl and tries to seduce him, but Forrest is scared of touching her. She stops and apologizes to him, although her roommate is awake the whole time. Forrest plays so much football, and he is put on the all-time American team. He meets with President Kennedy and hilariously tells him he has to pee. After 5 years, Forrest gets his college degree and enlists in the U.S. Army. At first, he thinks he has made a mistake because he is being yelled at. He later befriends a fellow soldier, Bubba, who asks him if he has been on a shrimp boat. Bubba talks about shrimp every time. Forrest excels in the Army, impressing his commander, although he misses his home. Forrest finds out that Jenny was expelled from college and is a singer at a theater in Memphis, and Forrest decides to see her perform. However, some viewers try to grab her, but Forrest saves her, making Jenny angry. Forrest tells her he loves her and can't allow them to grab her. Jenny tells him to stay away from her, and Forrest tells her he is going to Vietnam. Jenny tells him to promise her that he will run if he is ever in trouble. Arriving in Vietnam, Forrest and Bubba meet Lieutenant Dan Taylor. He gives them instructions to follow, and Forrest is happy to have him as his lieutenant, although a member of his family dies in every single war. They do a lot of routine operations, although Forrest thinks they are looking for Charlie. On a particular night, in the rain, which lasted 4 months, Bubba asks Forrest if he will join him in the shrimp business, and Forrest agrees. Forrest always writes to Jenny, hoping to get a letter back. Soon after, on a routine walk, the rain stops, and they are ambushed. At first, Forrest follows Jenny's advice and runs, but he returns to save Bubba. While looking for Bubba, he decides to help wounded soldiers to safety, including Dan, even though he asked him to leave. While rescuing Dan, he is shot in the buttocks. He later sees Bubba, who dies in Forrest's hands, while Lieutenant Dan loses his limbs. While in the hospital, Forrest has all his letters to Jenny returned. Forrest learns how to play ping pong and becomes very good at it. Dan blames Forrest for saving him, wishing Forrest had left him to die. Forrest is awarded the Medal of Honor by the President but is sad when he finds out that Lieutenant Dan has been sent home. He leaves Vietnam 2 weeks later. At an anti-war rally, Forrest is given an opportunity to talk about the war, but a soldier disconnects the speaker as he is about to reveal the secrets of the war. Jenny cites him, and they reunite. Later on, Jenny introduces him to her friends, including Wesley. Forrest beats Wesley after witnessing Jenny being slapped by Wesley. Forrest tells Jenny he wants to be her boyfriend and gives Jenny his gold medal, but Jenny leaves. In the hospital, Forrest develops a love for ping pong and joins the All-American ping pong team, becoming one of the first Americans to visit China. Forrest has an interview alongside John Lennon. After the interview, he meets with Lieutenant Dan, who is now an alcoholic. Forrest celebrates Christmas with Dan in New York. Forrest tells Dan about Bubba's shrimping business idea, and Dan mocks him, saying he will join him if he ever starts the business. Forrest thinks about Jenny, who finally leaves the abusive Wesley. A few months later, Forrest and the ping pong team get invited to the White House, and his service with the Army ends. He returns home to meet his mother, but he doesn't stay long. He goes to meet Bubba's family and pays his respects to Bubba. Forrest uses his earnings to start the shrimp business. He names his boat Jenny but quickly realizes how hard it is to catch shrimps. Elsewhere, Jenny continues to live an erratic lifestyle and contemplates suicide. Lieutenant Dan joins Forrest's business. At first, they don't make any improvements, but a storm hits, and only Forrest's boat survives. Forrest continues his story and Dan thanks Forrest for saving his life. Forrest's mother has cancer, and he runs back home. However, she dies 2 days later. Dan invests Bubba Gump's money into some kind of fruit company, which is actually Apple Incorporated. Forrest gives his share of the money to the church and Bayou La Batterie Fishing Hospital and gives Bubba's share to his family. At night, Forrest always thinks of Jenny. One day, Jenny comes to visit, and they reunite. Afterward, Forrest proposes to Jenny, and they make love. The following day, Jenny leaves Forrest, returning his gold medal, and Forrest becomes lonely. He decides to embark on a relentless cross-country marathon for 3 years and becomes famous for it. Forrest later gets company, unknowingly helping those that need his help. After running for over 3 years, he becomes tired and returns home. Then one day, he receives a letter from Jenny asking if he can come to Savannah to see her. After narrating his story, Forrest runs over to Jenny's house, and she apologizes for leaving him. Her son comes home, and Jenny tells him that the boy's name is Forrest, and he is his dad. Forrest asks if he is smart, and Jenny ascertains he is brilliant. Jenny reveals that she is dying from an unknown virus. Forrest takes Jenny and the boy to Alabama, and they get married. Lieutenant Dan has gotten new legs, and he comes with his fiancée. On her deathbed, Jenny asks Forrest if he was scared in Vietnam. He shares his experience with her, and she dies. Forrest visits Jenny's grave and tells her how he and Forrest Jr. are faring without her. Forrest is seen taking Forrest Jr. to school. He tells him that he loves him and watches the bus leave. Thanks for watching. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.